Well, we are gathered here to discuss malaria. Malaria is a disease that affects between 300 and 5 million people the world over every year. But 90% of those who suffer from malaria happen to be in Africa. And 85% of the 1 million deaths again happen on the African continent. It is this reality that gave us the urgency. First in 2000, in Abuja, Nigeria, when leaders made the commitment to intensify the fight against malaria. And then a year ago, in order to increase the pace in the fight against malaria, myself and few leaders working with Ray Chambers, the UN Secretary General's representative in the fight against malaria, we came together in an alliance of African leaders with the sole purpose of intensifying and increasing the pace in the fight against malaria. Malaria is a disease that can be conquered. Malaria is a disease that can be eliminated, because there are countries on this planet that have succeeded in conquering malaria. There are countries on this planet that have succeeded in eliminating malaria. It is against this background that gave us the trust and confidence that we too in Africa, if we pull our efforts together, join forces, we can succeed sometime, someday, and not too distant a future, to be able to conquer malaria and eliminate the disease. There are three main interventions. Using the most effective medicines to fight the disease. As you know, a number of drugs have developed resistance to the disease. Of late, it's been proven that artemisinin combination therapy is effective in curing malaria. Of course, the other is to sleep and a long-lasting insecticide-treated bed net. The third intervention, which is again related to killing the mosquitoes, is indoor residual spray. Where these three interventions have been used effectively, malaria will no longer be there. Malaria will be eliminated. Human lives will be saved. So our focus in ALMA is try to ensure that the three main interventions are available. So this is what we've been working on, and I'm sure Ray is going to explain a little more about what we are really trying to do to ensure that we get enough medicines. So in essence, this is what we've been trying to do in ALMA. Coming back to the Tanzanian scene, Tanzania is a major killer disease. The #1 killer disease in the country. 30 to 40% of patients who visit hospitals are those who suffer from malaria. There have been successes. Take the case of Zanzibar, where these three interventions have been used effectively. There is 1%, less than 1% infection of malaria. From 30 to 40% in the past, now we are talking of less than 1%, which means the three interventions are effective. So what we are trying to do on the mainland side of the country now is to emulate the Zanzibar example by using ACT, long-lasting bed nets. With regards to long-lasting bed nets, our overall plan is to use about 23.6 million bed nets, 9 million for children under 5, which we have distributed almost all throughout the country. We are now coming to the city of Dar es Salaam, the only remaining place. We are now working on the 14 million bed nets. We want to give 2 bed nets for every household. So they will have one for the each child under 5 will get 1 bed net. And then we have a special program for pregnant women getting bed nets at highly subsidized prices. And then we have this other intervention. Of course, there will be definitely that bed net. And then we have these other 2. We think we'll be able to cover every household. And this way, with ACT available if they fall sick, and the bed nets available in the homes, we will be able to succeed to roll back malaria significantly. Of course, the other intervention now we are looking at is the indoor residual spraying. We've started with 2 districts in the country, Karagwe and Muleba. These are districts along Lake Victoria. The region around Lake Victoria has the highest incidence of malaria. It's 41%. It's the highest in the country. There was a time in Muleba, children, over half the children were not going to school. So we had to make this major intervention of ACTs for the sick. We distributed bed nets, and then we started indoor residual spraying. And the results are phenomenal. School attendance is 90% now. I think this is now the 3rd round of spraying indoor. So in these 2 districts, which are the highest incidence, we have 26 districts in the country with the highest incidence of malaria. And these are our number 1 targets for these interventions of indoor spraying, insecticide-treated bed nets. So we believe after some time, we should be able to say that we have not only reduced death from malaria, but we will have eliminated malaria. But so far, we have been able to cut malaria death by half. We used to have over 120,000 per annum. Now it is between 60 and 80%. So with Zanzibar, the beds are empty now. That used to be full of children suffering from malaria. Even on the mainland, such situations now have begun to be seen. Of course, I must admit, we've been working together with many friends on this planet. The Global Fund. We have philanthropic organizations, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Clinton Foundation, a number of international NGOs, Malaria No More. Ray Chambers was president of Malaria No More before he became UN Secretary General's representative. UNITAID, the World Bank, private sector funding mechanisms, all these have helped us achieve what we have been able to achieve so far. And it is these institutions and organizations that we're working with on the African front under the auspices or supporting ALMA.